Welcome to Cruy's tragic life show, where troubles come sliding in like a skateboard ever since Tally showed up. David stepped up to defend Tally, thinking she could go all out to save Saeed's life, which clearly meant she had major issues. This kind of responsible person gained everyone's trust, but Tally felt like she was scolded and wanted to slip away. In the end, she had to thank herself for heroically saving Saeed, passing the organization's test early and donning an eye mask like a superhero. Rescued folks brought her to the entrance of Smoky City, where everyone was flailing their arms like they were planting the dream of a cashless life. The locals seemed to reminisce about the old Smoky City, and when Tally saw them casually greet her, it almost made her want to burst out. Despite class divisions, Tally felt at home and, unnoticed, wanted to search for possible secret weapons. She gradually blended into Smoky City's way of life, like she was part of a wacky reality show. Here, she tried unique delicacies, and having never had anything too spicy, Tally was left speechless by the heat. Suddenly, David stood up like a popcorn kernel, breaking the peaceful vibe and making everyone tense. To make sure Jaeyeon wouldn't be invaded, David rallied everyone to work together and tackle the problem quickly, inspiring Tally with their enthusiasm. Suddenly, she realized that not caring about appearances was so liberating, giving her a feeling of instant relief. Observant David noticed Tally's hands were hurt and quickly gave her a pair of protective gloves, feeling like he had transformed into a skincare product spokesperson. Villagers surged in like a carnival, celebrating their win over patrols, adding to Tally's stress. Attacked people recalled that these weren't just ordinary patrol soldiers, they were like decorations on a treadmill, moving impossibly fast. Everyone looked pale and tense. To help the wounded, Tally and Sig went to fetch water, bouncing around like a party but feeling uneasy. David suddenly had a glimmer in his eye, hinting to Tally that using his gloves might suggest something deeper. Tally was shocked to discover that David revealed everything without hesitation and took her to meet his parents, making it a big family reunion. Tally was dumbfounded, as they had undergone surgeries to become like a real family. She couldn't believe it. David, the family introducer, showed his goddess to parents, like a beauty contest. So, Sol vouched for Tally to get the weapon secret from her parents, ironically funny. It turns out, David's parents used to be plastic surgeons, and today's job resembled that of data analysts, a laughable twist. Their mission was to find safer surgical methods and avoid deaths, transforming them into the superheroes of the medical field. Tally then realized push surgery was unexpectedly bad. The real issue was internal. Not only that, scarier still, those who had surgery lost true judgment, living like zombies. This sort of false sense of happiness was laughably ridiculous. Tally found it hard to believe, but David ruthlessly revealed the truth. The committee was investigating the work of David's parents until they realized brain degeneration wasn't an unintended result of the surgery. The actual purpose of the surgery was to control people, and the parents were forced to escape. What a tragic twist. They'd rather grow old and ugly than not offer people free will and self-acceptance, undeniably becoming rebels against the norm. And they had been researching an antidote, only needing one more synthetic element so close to the pinnacle. David's parents whipped up a basic serum in the lab. With the synthetic element, they'd be ready to hit back at Kebble. They indeed needed the nanosynthetic element, but due to the dangerous process, they decided it was like recruiting clinical volunteers as vendors. David's parents turned down the suggestion of snagging a few beauties for the test while risking being hunted down. The brain's complexity means side effects could be epilepsy, brain damage, or even death, like a real-life sci-fi horror show. After discovering the truth, Tally struggled to remove her necklace, threw it in the fire, and tried to share her inner shame, but David silenced her with a kiss. Tally hadn't expected that Kebble's set a trap. If the inside line is compromised, it would automatically send out an alert. Kebble's warships appeared above Smoky City like a scene from a movie, catching all the border teams off guard in a split second. Realizing the situation was dire, David was pulled back by Tally, sensing that the patrol soldiers were too bold and needed questioning, like a real-life mystery game. Once Kebble saw the people were controlled, he began judging their unlawful behavior, reminiscent of a frustrating twist in the drama. To force David to appear, Kebble ordered Paris to intimidate David's parents, creating a roller coaster of drama. David completely broke down and rushed towards his father, while Tally confronted Kebble, asking why he always hurt others. But that question pushed Tally into the spotlight, with David and Z looking shocked, as if a close friend had turned traitor. Tally couldn't care less now and dashed towards Wishy to shield from the impending explosion, moving like the heroine of an action blockbuster. Tally and David successfully escaped, while Kebble vowed to return, almost like a punchline. After Kebble left, Tally found David to explain she hadn't intended to inform Kebble, but ended up losing his trust. To redeem herself, Tally snuck David into the campus, practically playing a school drama. Although David had lost trust in Tally at that moment, he was forced to follow, having to survive in this highly comedic environment. Tally seized the opportunity to gauge the movement, prompting a joint rebellion against the patrol team. What a grand moment. Tally and David stealthily infiltrated, as if playing the sneaker, with thrilling twists at every turn. Tally held a classmate's ring, awkwardly met the warden. David quickly reacted, a lesson learned.